shit we should talk about on our show. Hey, what's up?
Where's
Me
the
and Abe were
intro?
just bullshitting for like 10 minutes here. All things that we probably could have been talking about on our podcast. I'm Matt Kearns. That's Abe Flores. He never likes to say his name anyway. This is our show.
It's all a lot of simple tricks and nonsense.
I did absolute. You dick. I did absolutely zero marketing. So no one knows that we go live unless you have your notifications turned on, and then you know that we're on. But yeah, so hey Abe, how you doing?
Good. I'm noting aging on me. Like I've been obsessed with my lines here. You know?
Abe, we're 26.
I know, but
No,
I'm
okay,
noticing that.
no, for real though. This is a true story. So I got my haircut recently, which you can't tell just because of how my headphones are. But this was a couple weeks ago before I got my haircut, and I'm coming out of the shower. I'm like doing my hair, and I literally had to look because it was just how I brushed my hair. But I'm like, is the top of my hair thinning? I was like, what fuck? No, because unfortunately, both sides of my family, baldness is in the men. So I know it's like your mother's side, but like literally either way, I'm fucked with hair loss. So I'm just like, oh, please don't start yet.
I think if you get to like 35 and you still have a little hair, like you get a good life.
Oh yeah, 100. If I could just make it to like, if I can just
to your wedding day. I think your wedding
exactly.
day.
Can I just have good amount of hair on my wedding day to where I can have it short, I can have long. It like that's all I ask. Because my dad had good hair on his wedding day. Because you know what? At that point, once I'm married, fuck it, she's with me. You know? But you know how fucking hard it would be if you're like balding and you're not married yet. And then also you gotta do some weird like comb over shit for the pictures or wear a hat. Like
I think you're
like at one of his weddings. I don't want to do that. It's weird.
I think for somebody that has receding hairline, it would be good to get like a prosthetic, like a week on their wedding day, like a professional one. I think that's where we should give them a pass to everybody. I don't have receding hairline yet.
If someone has a receding hairline or has gone prematurely bald and it's their wedding day and they want to do that, I would not judge whatsoever. Because you know what? Those pictures are the pictures that stick with you, presumably. Again, look, I have divorces in my family. Some things just don't work out, but presumably those pictures are with you. They're on your fucking mantle place forever. They're with you forever. So if you need to put a wig on, you fucking do you, my dude. Like, because guess what? You can't control it. You can't control hair loss. I know there's shit to where we're like, put this shit in your hair, but like genetically speaking, you can't control if you lose your hair. But you can control what your wedding pictures look like.
You actually can control your hair loss with the sponsor of this video, Rogaine.
You imagine? No, and also brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Use code SimpleTricksAndNon to get a free case of soldiers or whatever. I don't know. I skip all those ads because I pay for YouTube Premium. So I'm like, fuck you ads that exist in the video already. I'm not watching this shit.
Watching football, like I started watching like on American broadcast a couple years ago. Like 4 or 5 years ago, and I noticed there's a shit ton of hair loss products, and it makes sense because it's targeted to men.
Look,
like there's a lot of ads.
It is. It is.
Dude,
I'm sorry.
If women are accepted with silicone, boobs and asses, I think men should be accepted with fake hair.
Okay, no, this is a true thing. This is a true thing that we're going to talk about right now. When a woman, when there's stuff that happens to them, genetics, whatever, and they want to, like you said, get a boob job, nobody really cares. Nobody says it's a problem. But
everybody celebrates it.
If a man has genetic hair loss, and in particular loses it like in his 20s, and he wants to get a really nice wig and start wearing that around. Suddenly, oh, you're beautiful. That's just nature. What the fuck is this double standard? Why can't me and Abe or any other guys, we just want to look beautiful too? Why can't we?
Yeah, I also want big boobs, bro.
Well, you already got them. Surely.
You want to see them? Dude, this is a free country.
It is. Well, my country is. I don't know about yours. Is yours?
We abolished slavery since we signed the independence treaty. You motherfuckers took like 100 years.
True. You're not wrong. I'm not disagreeing with that. But you know what I can say? My family wasn't there for that. We were in Ireland. We weren't there with that
Let
shit.
me see.
So it wasn't me, nor was it my family. We were not complacent in this shit. Yeah, no, that is actually like a true thing because my dad's my mom's side, her family, she's half German, half Irish. The German side came here. They came here when a lot of people did, like through Ellis Island and all that stuff. But on my dad's side, his family was the first to leave Ireland. So like literally throughout history, I could just be like, my family was in Ireland. Like it's to the point where like the potato famine, like my family was literally living that, or technically dying in that.
You know something I noticed when you're talking about this, and it's something I noticed when I started like hanging out with consuming more American content and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they focus a lot on heritage. Like there's no like there's not like I know it's important for anybody, like your roots, but it's not like, oh yeah, my family come from that. Like for me, growing up is where you from, like Mexico. Where's your family from? I have no fucking idea, bro.
Because America is the melting pot. Like people were born and raised in England. Their family is usually from England or at least around Britain. Like I'm sure, again, I don't know, but I have a feeling most of your friends growing up were all either born in Mexico or near Mexico. Most people were born in Asian countries. Like America is the one place to where like you might be born and a couple of generations might have been born in America, but like stretching back, your roots don't, unless you're like my godmother is Native American, but like most of us don't have roots that stretch that way. We stretch to Europe and and all these things. So and also it's just like at least for me, I am extremely prideful of the fact that I'm Irish. Like that is a part of my heritage. The fact that I'm first generation American, so the fact that my dad is an immigrant, I think also expounds that. And I'm just, I am a proud Irishman, very proud Irishman.
Do you have Irish citizenship?
No, but I can get dual, because I'm first generation American. I can get dual citizenship. I just haven't gone through the process yet. But my family's actually we're most likely, unless things change, we're actually going to Ireland next year. Which is great because the last time I went, I was 10. So I really don't remember anything. And also just like now, because again, the last time I went, I was 10. I wasn't really into history and things like that. Now I can I'm really excited to go and to be able to see things. And also look, as a movie fan, a lot of movies I like were shot in Ireland, Excalibur, Braveheart, so I could go and find filming locations of that stuff, that's cool too.
I wanted to ask something. How offensive are leprechauns to you?
They're not offensive to me. This is a true story. So do you remember the Disney Channel movie Luck of the Irish? Where the kid, he had the gold coin and then his mom was a leprechaun and he started turning into a leprechaun? The basketball one? At the end,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This is a true story.
I've watched it. I don't even remember it.
Love that movie. One of my favorite Disney Channel original movies. My dad, because it'd be on every St. Patrick's Day on Disney Channel. My dad fucking hated that movie because it was just it was the continual just oh, we're all fucking short drunks, My dad's like, we're medium-sized drunks. But no, it doesn't offend me, and honestly, I've never asked my dad, but I don't think it does bother my family because my grandfather, he was actually when they came over here, he was actually a janitor for one of the Queen's schools. And actually on St. Patrick's Day, he would dress up in a leprechaun costume and teach the kids Irish songs. So I think it's because my dad's family came here in 1980. So it's not like they came here during that era to where like there were signs on the door that were like Irish need not apply. Like when leprechauns in those depictions were like offensive, that's when it was, like the fucking Lucky Charms mascot, so like but my dad did hate Lucky the Irish, although that could just be because he thought it was a stupid movie.
Like a symbol for the Irish people, like fuck yeah, like Speedy Gonzalez is to me is the
we're taking it back. They took it back. Yeah, that's Clark's too. Speaking that is, I won't say it's one of my favorite stories, but it's one of those fascinating stories to bring up Speedy Gonzalez. Have you heard the story about when Speedy got canceled?
What, sorry?
When Speedy Gonzalez got canceled?
I don't know which one you're talking about. Maybe
so basically there was this period of time when Warner Brothers kept getting these complaints and reports that Speedy Gonzalez was racist.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he was a super racist depiction of Mexicans and all this stuff. So they actually took Speedy Gonzalez out of cartoons and movies and all this stuff. And then they actually focus group with actual Mexicans, because this is like white people complaining on behalf of Mexicans. They like focus group Mexicans, and they're like, it's a fucking rat. We don't care. And so now Speedy Gonzalez is back and stuff. And that's just like the stupidity of people. That's just have to get offended on. And it's funny. I'm sorry, complete your thought.
Oh no, you were commenting about Speedy Gonzalez. Do you think that Crips should support Pepper Le Pew coming back?
Pepper Le Pew, you go back to those early characters, she's like, wow. Right. He's just like Kate Rape.
Yes.
Like basically, dude, like how many times that female skunk is like this, and you're like, that's not funny. That's like concerning, actually. It's like how Quagmire is still on Family Guy. I will never understand.
It's her name is Penelope.
Yeah, but it's just like she's like the living embodiment of no consent. Like she's not into this dude, and he's just like, you are going to fuck me, right? I don't know why my Pepe Le Pew was Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Van Damme is French, right?
He's from Belgium, but they speak French in Belgium. He's the muscles from Brussels. I love Van Damme. Van Damme's awesome. Have you ever seen his TikToks? It's pretty funny. His first one is just a lot of it is just in, like working out, but like he's always working out. All his videos, like his Thanksgiving messages, he's always like, Jean-Claude Van Damme, I am in the gym on Thanksgiving, but I want to wish you all a Thanksgiving. Gah! And he always, that's Matthew, like that's his move.
I forgot. You remind me here. Can we introduce you like Arnold Schwarzenegger's best friend from now on?
Me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, because my tweet. Yeah.
Yes. Can we introduce you like
legit? So I replied that to Jen Kemp's fiance Andre, because he's been talking about working out, and I've been getting back to working out. I actually signed up for Arnold's his newsletter, because it is generally great. It's him and his writers. They actually like talk about like really important stuff that's not just like working out, but just like dieting, like sleep, like this stuff that like there's no way to really change your metabolism. Like there's no such thing as a bad metabolism and all this stuff. And so I just replied to him because I was like, I think this is genuinely a great thing that people should do. And I kind of just tagged Arnold, not even really thinking about it. It was one of those things to where I was typing his name, and like it could give you an option to like tag their Twitter. And so I just didn't really think anything of it, sent it to Andre, and then I watched Mission Impossible. and I get out of Mission Impossible, and I get home, and I just like pull up Twitter, and now my Twitter is set up to where I only get notifications from people I follow. But I saw there were a few, and I click it, and like the first thing I see is just Arnold Schwarzenegger's like picture, and then I'm like, holy shit, wait, what? And then I like had to do a double take, and I was like, dude, fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger just quote tweeted me. What? So then I was like, this is very fucking cool. So I posted on my Instagram, my Facebook, just because I'm like, this is just, I need more people to know that this happened. And I tell you what, kids, you want to be reminded of people that you forgot you were friends with on Facebook? Post a picture of you being quote tweeted by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they'll just come out of the fucking woods. Because I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. John Roca is still friends with me on Facebook. Because I'm like, I forgot about that. But yeah, no. I honestly thought you were talking about, because I was doing my Van Damme impression. I thought you were talking about like my Arnold impression.
No. I remember the tweet I saw last week.
Yeah, it was cool. That was cool.
James once liked my tweet about Aquaman.
Oh, that's cool. It is cool. Like it is. Look, me and Abe are fans of these people. Like I'm just talking about in the general sense of like we're fans of like Steven Spielberg's and the George Lucas's and the Tom Cruise, and like we're nothing, you know, like in the grand scheme of like their world. But like, so you know what? It's cool when they do shit like that. It's cool, you know. It's nice. But yeah, so that's pretty awesome. So yeah, talking about Mission Impossible. You want to talk about Mission Impossible?
No.
Okay. You want to talk about Expendables? Because I got my poster there, which is hung up now. Abe was giving me shit forever. It's now hung.
So it took you, how long did it take you to fucking hang it? Like 4 minutes?
Okay, but
Took you longer to find that drill than...
It's not even a drill. It's a command strip hook.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it doesn't weigh that much. So yeah, so basically you put two of the things onto the wall. You put two of the things, kind of the reverse side onto the actual thing. You clamp them together. Once that sort of makes its hold, then you just sort of hang the frame hook on it.
Mission Impossible, Matty.
Yeah.
What do you think about Dead Reckoning Part 1?
Yeah, so I said it in my review on Facebook and on Twitter. I love this movie, and something I love about this movie is, especially in this year when there's stuff that like I feel like could have been this but is lacking it, the fact that this series continues to maintain that like epic sense of filmmaking, like on a grand scale, you know, like Top Gun Maverick did last year as well. Like I love that this movie, from like the story it was telling to just like the stunts it was doing to the cinematography, like this is a big movie and it feels big. Excuse me. I really enjoyed the movie. I think like Haley Atwell, I think she's a fantastic new addition to this cast. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with her character. By the way, guys, we're going to talk spoilers, so if they fall out, whatever. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with her. Kittredge being brought back, I really liked that, especially having just rewatched the first Mission Impossible. Like, I think that was such a brilliant stroke to bring him back. I still like Simon Pegg and Ving Rhames are still fantastic in this. I'll say Gabriel, he's okay. He's one of these characters that it's like, I get what they're trying to do. They wanted to be this sort of like quiet, tough guy, and that's okay, but like I hate saying this, but it's for Black Bear phasing, but like he really does feel like he's got that super plot armor to him, in a way that Ethan Hunt doesn't. Like, Ethan Hunt has the ultimate plot armor, but like the way Cruz plays it and the way Cruz performs it physically, you feel the toughness behind that plot armor, to whereas Gabriel, like, when he's having that fight with Rebecca Ferguson, I'm just like, I didn't feel that he was really that much of a badass. That's just me. I thought the story, holy shit, hit a little bit too close for home for everybody. I feel like now
they hit that on the marketing. Like, the marketing doesn't give you that sense.
And that's the other thing too I liked, is that the marketing did not give that away at all. You had, the whole like AI thing. And I really like that. I really like how, despite Tom Cruise's sort of more recent comments, like about like comparing Ethan Hunt to Indiana Jones, being like he wants to be doing this when he's 80, it does feel like that this is like it. Like that whole thing Gabriel kind of says to Ethan, to where it's like, your story's been written and we know how it ends. Like, I really like that. Yeah, overall, I think this is a great entry in the series. I think this is easily the best action movie we've gotten this year. And it's the first movie, and I said this day before we went live, it's the first movie that I want to go back and see this again in a theater. In the same way with Top Gun Maverick, I want like, this was just fun. Like, this was just fun to watch, like it was. In the same way Air earlier this year, like that was just a fun movie to watch. I only got to see
Which
that
movie?
once in theaters. I'm sorry?
What movie did you say?
Air. The Michael Jordan.
Air. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Like, and again, they're different types of fun, but just like, God, man, just fucking great fun movie. What do you think, Abe?
I really like this movie.
Yeah. I did not see a Letterboxd review of it, so
I don't have a Letterboxd review for it.
well, that's why I didn't see it.
I want to tell you something, man. There's this
Yes.
scene in a party in, I believe it's Rome, right?
Yes.
There's Haley Atwell, Vanessa Kirby, Palm Clementif, like Tom Cruise pronounces, and Rebecca Ferguson. I don't think it has never been a sample. Such a group of beautiful women in my life.
Yeah.
In the
Should
cinema.
we rank? No. Would that be creepy if we rank?
No.
Okay,
Yes,
I'll just look.
We
Look.
part of the group that says about Pepe Le Pew. So let's not go there.
But I
We
do
will
just
be
have to say, Haley Atwell is one of the most beautiful women that has ever existed on this planet.
I'm more of a Vanessa Kirby guy, but
She is too, man. But like, I don't know. I'm more of a brunette guy. So
no, well, whatever. I'm just kidding. I like black people.
That's fine.
No, but outside of that, like, it's a movie that's 2 hours and 47 minutes long.
But it doesn't feel it.
It doesn't feel like it. You're so into it. And you know what? There's some action movies that get you tired. Like, okay, what else? Because I experienced that with John Wick Chapter 4.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
enjoy. Which I really enjoy. But it's like, okay, you're giving me so much action, which is pretty nice, but it's to a point that you get tired. Where's the character? Where's the development?
This movie
And this movie has it. And this movie has it. This movie has action with purpose. It has 3 big sequences, you would say.
Mhm. Yeah.
The rum one, the party one, and the
Train.
On a train.
Well, the train split up into because you have Ethan trying to get onto the train, and then there's there's like 3 within the train, because it's Ethan trying to get on the train, the fight with Gabriel on top of the train, and then the train crashing. Which that's just incredible too, that you're able to, out of one setting, get 3 different action sequences out of, and it doesn't feel overpacked. And that is, I agree.
Build that train.
Like that, dude. They built, like, I love that Christopher Corey.
Dude, I thought it was CGI for a while, but no, they built that shit.
No, I love that he talks about that. He's like, yeah, we had to, like, there wasn't a train available for it to crash, so we had to build it, and we had to, like, design every cart and, like, actually, like, think about, if this was a real train. And that's just a credit to the production behind this movie, that, like, it would have been so easy to have just, like, designed, like, one train cart and to just kind of puts a different lighting on it in this one, and basically, but they literally built like multiple train carts. And what I love too is that when Ethan and Grace are having to get back through it, I actually love that, like, and again, this is why I want to see it a second time, because you didn't pick up on it the first time when Grace is trying to get to the front of the train, that they're showing you all the problems that they're going to run into coming back. Like when she passes the piano, and particularly when she goes to the kitchen, like you're not thinking about it until they start, and then you're like, oh, wait. And what I also like too about that is that, like, in a lesser movie, the kitchen cart is the last one you go to, but that's the like first one they have to get through. Is that like everything's crashing, the stove is on fire, the gas thing breaks, like, and that's only cart one, and again, in a lesser movie, you have that one cart, and then the train kind of just is able to stop itself. But it just, like, this movie is just fantastic.
I
It
think
really
it's
is.
and that comes from the writing, dude. There's setup, payoff. Because you see, I think that's what the thing that exemplifies is the key, like how it just goes back again. You stole it like that. You set it up first, then you pay off with that one, and it was the
Yeah,
same with the train.
and they also do such a great job with Grace's intro of just like the whole sleight of hand thing, of just like the fact, which again is a great callback to the first movie with Ethan and the knock list, to where he does that to Jean Reno, the whole sleight of hand thing, which is just great that they do it, because again, it's something that it's if you are someone who is new to the Mission Impossible movies and haven't seen the first movie, it doesn't feel weird that Ethan would know this, but if you're someone like me who has kept up with all these movies, you know that that's a skill he had. But you're right, going back to that mix between story and action, it really, because that is the problem, is a lot of action movies sometimes really just try to front load you with the action, because they're like, this is what you came here for, this is what you want to see, and it's like, to paraphrase George Lucas talking about special effects and replacement of action, an action movie with action without a story is just pointless. Like it is. Action should be, the action sequences should be a result of the story. The story should not. It's weird. They're symbiotic, because it's like your story should be built into your action sequences, and your action sequences should exist because of your story that you're telling. And I think Dead Reckoning Part 1 did a great job of that, of having these sequences, like that bridge fight scene is a great example of that, to where like you set up that the program has decided that tonight either Grace or Ilsa is going to die, and it's kind of up to Ethan to decide who it is. And then I like that first it's Gabriel fighting Grace, and then I love that moment to where like you think maybe Ethan got there, and then Gabriel's like, I'm really happy it's you, and you see Ilsa, because you're like, wait, are they? And then they do, which I don't know about you, I wasn't expecting for them to kill her off.
Me neither, and I didn't like it. That's one.
I didn't like it either. I will say this movie is not without its faults.
I feel she got Fridge just to push the Ethan Hunt.
I agree.
I don't like movies like that.
For a character that since her intro in 5, although has had a connection with Ethan that they particularly explored in Fallout, I think to make her more of a pawn of Ethan's story really undercut everything Rebecca Ferguson did with this character in the last 2 movies. And yeah, it's the one time that if they did the mask thing, I would be totally okay with it, which maybe they did. Maybe, but
who is it?
I don't know. Maybe it's one of Vanessa Kirby's people. I don't know. That's the thing too, is like, who would it have been under the mask? It's Ving Rhames.
Dude, I like how Big Rhames, you said like, I cannot go. He just disappears at the end of the movie.
Well, because he's working,
I know,
he has
but
to be
it's
by himself.
I know but it's fun. It was just funny. Like, yeah, I'm not
Dude,
gonna go to
having
that
watched
train.
the first Mission Impossible movie, it is amazing to me that like they're like, yeah, Ving Rhames is the second most important person in these movies next to Tom Cruise. So even like in 4, he's not in it, but we're gonna make sure he has a scene at the end of the movie. You know,
He's
which
not
by
in
the
four.
way, in Ghost Protocol.
Oh,
He's not
really?
in most of the movie, but in the last scene when they're all having the drinks, he's there and they're like talking about the mission. And then I love that moment to where like he's getting up and he's reaching to his pocket and Ethan's like, I'm gonna get it. He's like, yeah, I know you were. He just flips him off. I love that friendship between him and Ethan that has formed over these movies. And you feel it in this movie too. You really feel like their connection. But yeah, the Ilsa thing, that's the one thing that I think the movie faults on. And I'm hoping that the next movie is either one, able to pull a fast one on us since she's not actually dead, or two, give more credence to her death, give more purpose behind her death, because right now it feels a little purposeless. But that is something else I'll give credit to this movie. When we talked about Across the Spider-Verse, we both talked about how that felt like half of a story. This movie doesn't. It does feel like there's something more to tell, but like this movie does feel complete in a way that Across the Spider-Verse didn't. And that's something I give Tom Cruise credit for. I saw recently like an article or something where he did not want this movie to end on like a big cliffhanger. He was very opposed to that. He was very opposed to kind of the like gigantic cliffhanger ending. And again, I think that is why it succeeds, is that, you know, they have the key now. They have to find the submarine. That is the real key to destroying this thing. And now, you know, but it's not like a lesser movie would have. You know what's funny? A lesser movie might have ended with like the Gabriel like Ilsa fight, and it could have done like an Amazing Spider-Man 2 to where it's like they run at each other and then just cuts to black. It's like to be continued, you know? Like I could see that in a lesser movie, but yeah, this movie was just fantastic. And I really just, in a way that, and it pains me to say this, but in a way talking about Dial of Destiny like hurts me because I'm such a fan of that series. It gives me such joy to talk about Dead Reckoning Part 1, to be like, oh man, like I really love this movie and this franchise that I love. Like I'm really glad that they didn't fuck it up. Like that's great. Thanks, Tom and Chris. But yeah. I don't know. You have any more thoughts? Oh, what did you think about Grace joining the IMF at the end?
I liked it.
I liked it too. I think they did a great story of kind of having her be this kind of like thief for hire, and then sort of this understanding of like you can do a lot more. One thing is it connects to Ethan's origins that now completely changes origins in the first movie. Because
I have
in the so in
when
the
was the last
first
time you watched the first one? I don't remember the first
just
one.
last week, just
Okay,
on Sunday.
I don't.
Dude, I gotta be honest. I gotta watch the rest of them, but like, I really love that first movie. It is now my favorite Mission Impossible, having rewatched it, because it's the only true spy thriller. You know, because starting with, you know, the 2 onwards, they become action movies with spy elements, but like that first movie is the only true espionage movie. And it's great. But the thing is that like in that movie, it's fairly established. And again, this is just some background lore things too, but like basically, so Ethan Hunt was in the military. He gets out of the military and he joins IMF and everything. And he's trained by Jim Phelps and everything. But now it's like, which I guess maybe the whole Gabriel and that girl thing, but it doesn't match up with his old story, which again, I get that movie came out. I know that movie came out in 1996, so who even remembers it but people like me? But it did annoy me a little because it changes. Because the whole thing about it is basically Ethan was in the military. He gets honorably discharged. He wants to join the CIA. Basically, one of the directors in the CIA is like, you have a lot of skills and knowledge and all this stuff. We think there's a better place for you to work, and that's Impossible Missions Force. So, but now it feels like Ethan just kind of got his hands caught in red paint, and it's like, well, join us, you're fucked. I don't know. That's just me, because that's kind of what it's basically. He says to Grace is like, you're gonna have a choice to make. You either get arrested or join IMF, which just feels like how Harvey Keitel describes internal affairs to Sylvester Stallone Copland, where he's like, do you know how they get you to work for IMF? They catch you on the take and they tell you you can either work for them or join or go to jail. So I don't
Which
know.
I think it makes sense for the way American uses use some Nazis to create NASA and shit like that.
What are you talking about, NASA? How does NASA relate to this?
You know who created NASA, right?
Who?
Who were some of the scientists?
Yes, we know that. Hey, we talked about this in our last episode, Crimes Against Humanity. Remember before we pitched our trilogy? We talked about the fact that there were these Nazi scientists that America was like,
exactly.
We know
it's
you
the same
committed
way.
crimes against humanity, but if
It's
you help
the
us with our
same way.
space
Makes
program,
sense.
we're just gonna overlook this.
Yes, it makes the same way American operates.
You know what? Fuck you. All right, let's tier rank.
Matthew, we have an unexpected tier ranking created.
Wait. Did you already make them without me?
It's because I look up quotes and I was like, this looks good.
I guess.
But if you want to change any, we know
I was gonna
Cinnamon.
say
What a
that,
picture!
The last one should be like, this message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. I don't know.
This message should be destroyed.
What are you putting? Should be destroyed.
Should be destroyed.
Yeah, okay, that's good. In the next 5 seconds. Yeah. It's so okay. So this is a funny thing when you actually think about the fact that there are only 7 Mission Impossible movies, because they've been going for so long. It feels like there is like way more. Is that just me? Like it feels like this is like the 10th movie.
I mean, how long it's been? 24, 27 years.
Yeah, 27
take
years.
Out 2 years for COVID years.
Well,
25.
take out well. Yeah, also take out the years between 3 and Ghost Protocol, because that was when Tom Cruise was not really at the top of Hollywood, and they were like, let's 25. Just not make these movies.
So it's 25. I mean, 1 every 4 years.
Yeah, it's not terrible. All right, let's start. So, even though I just said Mission Impossible,
I think because there's 7, we should only have 1 cinema.
I agree. So, Mission Impossible, even though it is my favorite, I think it should be What a Picture. I don't think it should be cinema.
I think when you talk about the aspects of the film, as you say, that focusing on the spy thriller is something really enjoyable.
Well, also, I'm sorry.
And it has one of the most iconic scenes in the film.
I was about to say, the best scene in the series is still in that movie, which is when Ethan's going to steal an Oculus.
What? Went to steal the Oculus.
I
understand that. Yeah, when he goes to the Oculus. I was like,
no, yeah, when they go, that whole sequence is fantastic.
Yes. I'm gonna. I will put in Mission Accomplished.
Okay, so we put it top of Mission Accomplished then. Since I had What a Picture.
I think we can go back to...
Yeah, again, because there's so few, I think this is definitely one to where, like, once we get everything... Okay. This message should be destroyed in the next 5 seconds.
I think there should be cinema. So I watched it for the first time this week.
Oh, really?
This week, on Monday,
what did you think?
I think it's really fucking stupid.
Oh, it is extremely stupid,
I just,
and I
but I
love it
just
for
want to
that.
say, bro, but it's fucking awesome, dude.
Dude, what Anthony Hopkins is doing in that movie, I will never understand.
Dude, I was like, where's Anthony Hopkins in the other fucking movies?
You know the story behind the villain in that movie, though, right?
No, what is it?
That actor, what's his name? Let me look it up. Just give me 1 second. Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible 2. Dougray Scott, so the villain of that movie, he was the person who was cast to be Wolverine. And then Mission Impossible 2 started to go over its production time. And basically, he had to pick between staying in Mission Impossible 2 or shooting X-Men. And he chose to stay shooting Mission Impossible 2. And so that dude missed out on being Wolverine. And that's how we get Hugh Jackman. And that's also that's also why if you look at Hugh Jackman, like physicality wise, he's the least buff he is because he
Yeah,
literally
he doesn't
came in
seem
like
physically ready. Yeah,
he had his dancer's body because he literally came in like 2 weeks before they started shooting. He had
I
like
didn't know that.
no prep time. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like it's insane to think that if it was not for Mission Impossible 2, we would have missed out on, let's be honest here, one of the greatest comic book like castings ever.
I'll tell you this about MI2. I think it's the best looking Mission Impossible movie.
Really?
Yes, I do think like, yeah, like how it's shot. Like
Well,
it may
because
be
John Woo is a style. He has a style. to
yeah,
himself.
yeah. So Young Woo style, maybe the story doesn't fit, and maybe there's a lot of slow motion. But I do
Mhm.
think it looks very cool.
And doves.
But I would have to agree, based on the consciousness of my heart, they should be destroying that next 5 seconds.
It's so dumb. Again, I love it, but it's so dumb.
Okay, I think
wanna-
this is
what-
where. What's
Well,
your
what are
take on
your?
3?
I want. So 3 used to be my favorite, but honestly, so I was recently, like a month ago, I was on Paul's podcast talking about the movie. So I watched again. I still like it, but it's not. It's. I hadn't watched it in a really long time until it was a movie that I just like. I think the elements that I really liked, I always kept in my head. It's a kind of uneven movie. I think Tom Cruise is still great in it. I think Michelle Monaghan is still great in it. I think Philip Seymour Hoffman is still good in it. But
He's awesome
it's
in it.
he's great. But the movie overall it's good. It's good. It has some good moments to it. I think it's mission accomplished. I think the thing is like it has a lot of Abramisms to it.
I'm gonna tell you this. This is the one that I actually got a little bored watching it. A little bit. Yeah,
too.
like it was like
like
it just
again,
like
the
it just like
Julia Ethan stuff I still think is really strong, and I think they play that really well. But like there are sections of the movie to where I just like found myself kind of disinterested.
it just lacks the dynamic that the other ones have.
I think because it was trying to go for that like Born Identity feel. And that, again, the bridge scene I still think is a great action sequence. I think Ethan escaping from the IMF is still great. But yeah, I think mission accomplished. And personally, I would put it under the first one.
I would put it. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
No,
but let's do.
I don't really care. But again, we're gonna look back.
Okay. If you don't care, let's put.
Yeah.
Ghost Protocol.
This is where
can I go here?
Yeah. Go.
This is the first Mission Impossible I remember watching it, dude. It was one of the first movies I watched when it was on Netflix, like years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd never.
I feel like that's probably where I first saw it too. Was on Netflix.
Yeah, and I
saw the movies in order though. That's the thing. I saw them all in order.
Yeah, and it was fucking awesome when I watched it. I thought like, fuck, this movie's great, and I always thought it was my favorite. But then I really watched it, and it doesn't really capture the same thing as watching it the first time.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's still fun, and I think there's a good like that India sequence when they're in it's India, right?
Oh yeah, the Burj Khalifa, still one of the best sequences in the series.
No, that's in Abu Dhabi, but in India. That's
Are you
in.
talking about the sandstorm?
No, when they're like in a party, stealing
Oh
something.
yeah. Yes.
That I really like that sequence. Really like how it looks, but it doesn't hold up the same as the first time.
I
I mean, the
agree.
Burj Khalifa, it's fucking great. That sequence is
Yeah,
just
and then
fucking iconic.
you also have, and I like Jeremy Renner, but the 4 and 5 do this weird thing to where, like, I'm not sure there was behind the scenes stuff to where Tom Cruise was maybe debating not wanting to be in it, but his character feels so much like this is probably the next Ethan Hunt. We're setting up the next Ethan Hunt, and then with Fallout, he's just
Oh,
fucking
the
gone.
story about that one is that they were trying to do it without
Tom
Cruise.
Cruise.
Like
Well,
Paramount
yeah,
wanted,
because
wanted
3 didn't
because he
perform well
was.
at the box office because 3 came out post his sort of like when he became a Scientologist and like the Matt Lauer interview and every which like kind of affected the box office of War of the Worlds because that was during that time was when he started doing it, but it really affected the box office of 3. So I can understand that they were like, maybe we should set up someone to take this away from Tom. And so Jeremy
I,
Renner was in it because Jeremy Renner just exists, I guess, at a point before Marvel was to just like because they tried to make him the new Jason Bourne. they
well, it's because
just
he was, dude. He was hot at the time. He came from what's the name? The Town. You know, he was
yeah,
up
yeah,
and
yeah.
coming.
Yeah, he was Oscar nominated for that, so it
And
makes
then
sense.
Hurt
I was thinking
Locker.
and like,
You
oh
know,
yeah, Hurt
Hurt
Locker, that was
Locker
a
in
huge
the
movie
Town.
too.
He's really fucking good in
Honestly,
it. He's
oh,
a really
he's
good actor.
great. I haven't seen Hurt Locker, I've only seen The Town with him, but he's fantastic in The Town. And look, I really think he found his perfect niche as Hawkeye because he is one of my favorite characters in the MCU, particularly with that Disney Plus show. He has really found a good niche with that character. But it is just weird. But yeah, Protocol, I've so many people love that one, and I've always felt so weird because I've always had it very low on my rankings. And yeah, it's I have to watch it again, but like
I think
honestly,
it felt refreshing.
it did. I think Brad Bird was an interesting choice, and I think particularly for a director who most of his directing has been in animation, he didn't
All of
seem
his
like a
directing to
novice
that
doing
point.
action.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
All to
give him
this
credit
point.
for that, but I think the story was a little lacking in this one. Personally, I put in we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
I'll put it below Mission Accomplished because whatever
Okay.
criticism, I do enjoy it more than MI3.
Fair enough. I'll give you. I haven't seen it in a while, so I'll give you that.
Okay. Okay, I think this is where it becomes hard, and this comes to preference.
Yeah,
Because I think we can agree that both of these three are gonna. Well, what a picture of cinema. Do
yeah,
you agree with me on that?
yeah. Even though I think Mission Impossible should be in What a Picture, yeah, I do agree with that. That these three are, yeah.
So, what's your take on Rogue Nation?
I really like Rogue Nation. Again, haven't watched it in a hot minute, but I think the introduction of Rebecca Ferguson, she is fantastic. What are you doing?
Wait, sorry,
I
I
thought you
wanted
were
to check
going to
something.
look up my letterbox to see the last time I watched
No,
it.
no, I wanted to see something. I was gonna see who plays the villain in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like Rogue Nation. I think that whole is it Dubai where they have the car and then the motorcycle, is that Dubai?
I think it's Morocco.
Morocco. Yeah, that sequence is amazing. I think obviously the whole underwater thing is awesome. The opera house scene, I think though, is like that is just killer. Like that is just so great. I really like the movie. I think What a Picture is. I think it's a good spot for it. What?
I had a really bad joke on my head. I'll tell you when the broadcast ends. Like it's really fucking bad.
Just type it into the private chat, not the comments. Make sure you push private chat. Don't be like me that one time. And then my dumbass clicked on it too. All right, let's see. You dick! Which, speaking of, that does remind me that's the first time he shows up in this, and I think great addition to the series. And
This is my
again,
favorite. Oh, go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead. Finish your thought.
he's also my favorite of the sort of like guys who give Ethan the mission. And as someone who he's my favorite Jack Ryan, I think that was such a cool thing. In the same way, having Sean Connery play the villain Hunt for October, it's this great kind of like tipping your hat to the previous spy movie franchises to be like, okay, so the new like head of IMF was Jack Ryan, like one of the original spy movie like franchises. I think that was great, and I think he works really well, and I really like this. What I like about his character is this understanding that like Ethan knows what he's doing, and he trusts Ethan. So even when it's like, again, I really like his addition to the series. So yeah, I think What a Picture is a good spot for it.
This is my favorite Mission Impossible movie.
Okay.
I really fucking it. It was the first one I watched in theaters, so I think it has something to do with it. I was fucking blown away when watching it.
You know what's
2015.
You know what's going to like make you scratch your head?
What?
Dead Reckoning was the first Mission Impossible movie I saw in theaters.
What the fuck are you doing with your life the last?
I
years?
missed out on Fallout. I don't know, when did Fallout come out?
2018.
I think Fallout and what time of year? Because if it was during the
July.
summer,
July.
yeah, that was when I was working my my job at ShopRite, and I saw like I think I only saw Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom was the only movie I saw in theaters that summer because it was such a like anytime I wasn't working, I just was like, well that was also around the time when Cara was born, so I was hosting. I had taken over the summer for Kristen, so it was like if I wasn't working, I was at home doing shit for the show and everything. So I just completely missed it until I didn't wait for it on Blu-ray. I think I rented it when it like came out on like Fios because Fios sometimes has that thing to where like when movies are ending, they're running in theaters, but they're not like on Blu-ray or anything yet. You can like rent it through cable. That's how I watched it. Loved it. But yeah, no, Dead Reckoning is the first time I ever saw it. But I'm sorry. Continue with what you were saying about.
I think this one it's the one that humanizes Ethan Hunt the most, and it does it better than MI3 though. I do like that one. I think Rebecca Ferguson is the best henchman in the films.
I think
in any of the films,
but I'm not going to agree that it's the best to humanize Ethan.
I mean, right to the point we got there, like,
Okay.
I don't know why. For me, this is cinema because it's my number one. But if you say What a Picture, we can go What a Picture and discuss cinema.
Yeah, I think we're going to battle cinema.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll put in What a Picture because Fallout is the one that I think should be in cinema. I think its story is fantastic. I think the way it humanizes Ethan, bringing back Michelle Monaghan. The story was telling. You have Henry Cavill, who I think is the best henchman villain we've had in the series.
I mean, he's the hottest though.
He is, but like what I like about him is like he matches Ethan on pretty much every level, like smarts and bronze, which I love. Dude, the bathroom fight is one of the best, and it's not a long sequence.
The bathroom fight is dope, dude.
I'm sorry.
The bathroom fight is dope as fuck.
It's so great, and like how it ends with Henry Cavill just picking up the mask figure, just smashing it against John Locke's head. You get Vanessa Kirby, who do you know who she is in these movies?
It's Miss something, right?
Okay, no. So I know you said it's been a little bit since you watched the first Mission Impossible.
Who is she? Vanessa Kirby.
Do you remember
the
Max?
White Widow.
Do you remember Max from Mission Impossible, the one who was who was doing all the dealings with the knock list?
No, but continue.
Vanessa Kirby is her daughter.
Oh.
So that's why there still is she does all these dealings, and she in the universe, her mother's dead, and that's why when she takes Ethan to that thing, she does like a little thing about her mom before. But yeah, that's her mom. I did not know that. I give credit to Mr. Sunday Movies. His video brought that out, and I was like, holy shit, that's such a cool connection to make to the older movies. But she's a great addition too. And dude, look, action sequences wise, this movie is just chock full of them, but they all feel great and they all work.
The motorcycle chase, is it in Paris, right? That chase. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this.
Then you have the foot chase.
the asterisk just under the discussion of the henchman. The asterisk on Henry Cavill is that he's revealed to be the villain later.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
You
you're not
like
a
the villain to
henchman the
just be
whole
straight
movie.
up.
Yeah, you're not the
Okay.
henchman the whole movie, you know. And Rebecca Ferguson is, which she ends up turning a kind of Fallout.
Yeah,
That
she's anti-hero and in the
yeah,
last one
anti-hero.
too. She's
Yeah, that one too. That's the only thing I will nitpick, but I would not disagree with being
I just think
on cinema. I
when
do
I think
think it's
cinema,
really
I
complete
think
film.
it's
And also that sound on the fucking helicopter he does at the end.
dude, the moment when he falls and like grabs the wire, like what the fuck? The one thing is, and I'll agree, Mr. Sunday Movies in his video brought this up. It's a great thing, but I think the Halo jump, because of the storm stuff they add to it, because all the other action sequences, and again, that was him, he was doing that Halo jump for real, but because you add this element of the CGI storm, it doesn't have that same weight that if it didn't do that, it would have had. And look, obviously, Tom Cruise is crazy and they let him do a lot of stuff, but they were not going to let Tom Cruise do a Halo jump during a thunderstorm because Tom Cruise could literally die doing that. But yeah, I think
that's why they showed the big stun of Fallout first before anything. No, I mean from Dead Reckoning, they showed the hill sequence, if you want to say the mountain sequence.
You had to,
like,
because
well,
like,
if he dies, we just spend $60 million.
Look, if he dies, we get a nice little tax write-off, and it's not like we shot half a movie that we have to try to Paul Walker. It's okay.
Exactly.
Like, that's one how you know there was a conversation Tom Cruise and Chris McQuarrie had. They're like, we're doing this sequence first, Tom, because if you die, at the very least, we all just go, you know what? Tom went out how he would have wanted to go out, and unfortunately, the series ended on a pretty good note in Fallout.
So let's put it cinema.
Yeah. And now,
so there will be some recency bias here. We have to agree because it's fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. And I do want to go watch it back in theaters, which probably I may think of going tomorrow because the biggest screen in my town may be taken away by Barbie or Oppenheimer.
Yep, so that's the one thing. That. Yeah.
Well, I may go today like at 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I mean, you know.
Don't go today at 10 p.m. We're still shooting our show.
No, but 10 p.m. my time, motherfucker, it's 7.
Oh, okay. Fair enough then. I always forget how far away we are.
Yeah. It's fucking 10 for you. For me, it's 9.
Because Abe is really nice, and he knows I'm an idiot with math, so he does everything Eastern Standard Time for my sake.
Because actually, I know some basic arithmetic.
I know it. I know it. It's just sometimes
Matt, last time I told you what it's 2 plus 3, you said it was fish.
Well, it is.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's no, you're right. Cracker. You're right. 2 plus 3 not is bacon. Cracker. I forgot about that.
No, not cracker.
Not cracker. Fuck. I've
2 plus 4.
In a while.
2 plus 4 is whatever you said. Bacon.
Yeah. I'm not that much of an idiot, people. So yeah, so
I think this is a what a picture. I think so do I do think.
What? But I think especially with Rogue Nation being your favorite, I would totally concede putting it under.
I think it's probably if I go watch it again today or tomorrow, and it just blows my mind, I'll come back to this video, make an edit, fucking post production.
You won't even notice. Just change it.
Replacement. Voice replacement, AI, pay a couple AI.
Whoa. Hey, the movie clearly is telling you how bad that is. Dude, and you know what's insane about that whole thing is like, this movie was being made like during COVID. So it's not like this script was written like before the writer's strike or so. Like that's just like, that tells you about like Tom Cruise and Chris McQuarrie and crew were kind of, which again makes sense because like obviously Tom Cruise is like way more privy to stuff happening in Hollywood than we are. So it's like, I think he definitely saw that and was like, this is a problem.
Let's see when they shot this film.
Well, because did you see that reports that like Tom Cruise was like in meetings with like SAG and all that stuff with studios and was like, listen to these people. What are
Dude,
you
why
gonna-
don't I have fucking Guardians of the Galaxy on my watch list?
You have an actual IMDb account?
Yes.
Huh.
I used to look movies on IMDb before Letterboxd, and I just looked them in both.
Oh, that's fair enough. I love Letterboxd. I never. What are you
Let's
looking
see
up?
when they shot this movie.
Does it say?
Yes, if you go film and
Oh, yeah,
production.
film and production. Okay.
From
Film and
Wait,
Gates. There you go.
Series, shut up.
Yeah, look, they
Okay,
started in 2020. So, like, well,
I mean, they
before-
were shooting in 20. They started shooting in 2020, so
But that's what I'm saying. Well, before any of this stuff. So the script had to have been written probably.
I mean, it
late
says September 6th
2019?
to September 10th. They probably had to stop production for a while.
Oh yeah,
don't you
because
think?
COVID definitely stopped production.
They probably shoot like the Norway thing
Mhm. Yeah,
because they shoot
but-
that scene in Norway.
yeah, but still, like the fact that, and again, I think that's because Tom Cruise was probably a little privy to some of this stuff and recognized that it was a problem, and so he did what James Cameron did in the 80s with Terminator, to where it's like, I'm going to tell a story to where it's like, and the unfortunate thing is that people are really stupid and they watch these movies and they're like, oh man, the action's so cool. And it's like, it's like Terminator. Oh, Arnold's so cool when he kills those guys. It's like, oh, so you didn't pay attention to how like Terminator warns you about like what happens when you become far too dependent on technology and you try to make it more human. Because the thing is that eventually it's going to recognize that we're really stupid, and it goes, well, we should just wipe those things out, shouldn't we? Regardless, is there anything you want to change in this?
Look, what you said about the first Mission Impossible, that it's a really good spy thriller.
Yeah,
it is, and it's a really damn good movie. I
Yep.
won't deny that.
and
But
it
the
also has
last-
one of the best scores. Danny Elfman's score for that movie is
Dude, but the last three films directed by McQuarrie
yeah,
are literally bangers.
they
Like-
are. I'm not disagreeing with you. I
No,
agree.
I know. So, but that I cannot visibly see it at the same level,
And you know what? And look, that is Mission Impossible is a smaller scale espionage movie.
Yes.
Whereas these last three movies, like I said, are big, epic scale action movies. And that's why I'm fine keeping it at the top of Mission Accomplished.
and you
Again,
know what? Like,
it's my favorite. It's my favorite. But I'll still concede to you exactly what we said. I
I don't really like about the third one. The third one, the first one, that ending sequence on the train,
yeah.
it just doesn't land when you watch the whole tone of the first two acts of the film.
I guess fair
Like
enough.
that
I
took
think there
me
was a
that
sense
took me
of
away
ending
a
it
little
big.
bit. Yeah, it took me away from it a
No,
little.
that's fair enough. I think that
Watching
was
it.
one of those things to where I think I think it was just one of those things to where it's just like, which again, you gotta remember this movie's being made in the mid 90s. I
Yeah,
think there was just that
96.
sense that was how action movies kind of were, which was you kind of have your really big action sequence that you kind of build to, and that was that. Again, I still really like that. I still really love that sequence. It's not my favorite. Again, my favorite is still Ethan rappelling down to get the computer stuff.
Yeah, I think that's just it just shows that Brian De Palma's strength as a director was not necessarily the action; it's just fully the tension-filled scenes.
Dude, and let's also give credit to like the brilliance and like the casting of the original team to be like, these people are going to die, so we're just going to get really solid actors that you just like. That first scene when they're all in the room discussing the mission, they're like making the jokes and everything, like you feel that team. Or even like the opening sequence when they're like in the middle of the mission already. That's why, like, dude, it sucks when like they all start dying.
Who's your favorite foil in the franchise to Tom Cruise? I really like Benji.
So-
I think Simon Pegg.
It's Ving Rhames for me. Because again, going back to that first movie, I really like seeing that friendship and how it's developed over the series. And I just think Ving Rhames is just like, he's one of those actors that just has like a.
You're
This
just
is gonna
happy to
sound
see
really
him.
strange. He just has like a. It's not charisma; it's warmth. It's like what Tom Hanks has. There's just like a warmth to him as an actor, or Robin Williams had, to where it's just like there's just a warmth to you. Like there's just something about him. Yeah. So I would go with him. But I have a question for you, though. Who's your favorite villain of the series?
The one in Rogue Nation.
Yeah.
The one that gets in the books.
Honestly, for me, it's a toss-up between Henry
Dude,
Cavill and Phelps.
But Phyllis Seymour Hoffman, and the third one is just fucking.
Yeah, he's great too. I really like Phelps in the first movie because I like that whole like master apprentice thing between Ethan and him. But I totally concede that like if you loved the show, I totally can understand, being pissed off that they made basically the hero of the TV show the villain in the movie. It would literally be like if in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, Luke Skywalker was the new.
Have you watched the
emperor.
show? I've never.
No,
watched
I've
the show,
never
so.
seen the show. It was never on. I never remember. It was probably on TV, but like I was watching like A-Team and stuff like that. But yeah, if
But
it's
it wasn't
streaming
the-
somewhere, I would be interested to watch it because what's his name? Peter Graves is an actor I really like, so I would want to see
Yeah.
it.
No.
And again, I have heard from people who do watch the show that, and again, going back to the espionage thing, the first movie is the best adaptation of the show. It's the closest to the show. It's kind of it's funny. It's kind of like Star Trek, to where like I'm a massive fan of the original series. Wrath of Khan is the best movie in that series. It's not the best adaptation of the show. That is Voyage Home or Undiscovered Country is the best adaptation of the show to a movie, personally, for me. Or even motion picture.
I've only watched the first two and the last three, so.
Yeah. Oh, so you've seen motion
need
picture
to-
and Wrath of Khan. Dude,
Motion
you gotta watch. Okay. Watch Search for Spock. Watch Voyage Home. Skip Final Frontier. And then watch
No, I gotta watch
Undiscovered
Final
Country.
Frontier.
What?
I gotta watch Final Frontier.
Well, you know what? Actually, no. Watch Final Frontier because make your own mind up on it.
On Discovery Country is the first one. No, right? It's not the first one. Patrick Stewart, right? That's First Contact.
No, that's no. The first one, Patrick Stewart and everyone from Next Gen is Generations. So the movie series, it's motion picture, Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, Voyage Home, Final Frontier, Undiscovered Country, Generations, First Contact, Insurrection, Nemesis, the first Abrams movie, Into Darkness, and Beyond.
Dude, I was thinking of this. I was on Paramount Plus, and all Star Trek movies are there. I think we need a new Star Trek movie.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like I want a new Star Trek movie.
Did you hear about the Star Trek 4 movie they were gonna do?
The one with Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah, it was going to be a time travel movie and was going to bring Chris Hemsworth back as George Kirk from the first movie.
I think I heard about it, but
and I'm like, fuck, that would have been really good. I gotta be honest.
Think, what? I think if Dungeons and Dragons would have been a success, like Paramount would have been in the Chris Pine business, and Chris Hemsworth. I mean, he's going with stuff personally right now,
Oh, I didn't know actually. I haven't really been following him.
Oh no, he had like a genetic thing, and
oh really? That's too bad.
Shit.
He's always been a really.
No, he's not. He's not sick. He's not. It's just realization of life. But like that would be in a good prank, both of them together.
And also just like, and especially in that universe to where George Kirk dies literally moments after James is born. There's also that thing of like he never got to meet his father, and again, I haven't looked into much of the story. I don't know if it's like a Back to the Future thing to where it's like the father doesn't know he's the father or something. I would assume that's probably how they would do it. But I gotta be honest with, which again, look, I know. boring asshole Matt, but like I like the first Abrams
JJ Abrams.
movie, but the other two I can kind of do without.
I enjoy the first one. I Into Darkness.
Dude, Into Darkness was like one of the first times I remember like being excited for a movie and then just being so pissed off with
And
they
I really like Beyond. I like the I like
I
the
I
I
like
like
when
that it happens in one place, and I like the
yeah
characters.
I
The
liked
character
it.
interaction.
I liked it. I just think I don't know. It
It
was
has
just
one of the funniest things. Like fuck, I remember laughing out loud. Like, so you pretty much gave your girlfriend a track or something like that. The thing that Bones says, is it Bones, right? Says
yeah to
to
Spock
Spock.
about
That's
Uhura.
dude. I remember laughing.
I
I went with two friends and we were just laughing out
I
loud.
so I gotta be honest. Beyond was really good, but I think it was one of those movies where like it was the closest to the original movies in kind of feel, but it was one of those things which again it's just sometimes when you're a fan of stuff you can't control, but like watching it was just like I'd much rather be watching Voyage Home than this, you know? Like I'd much rather just be watching Voyage Home. Yeah, you know, because again, it's like I give credit they changed the universe and the story in the first movie, but I still really like it. I like sort of the journey we get to see Chris Pine take in that movie. Dude, I will still say one of my great way to intro this character of like the way he hits on Uhura, like, and then to lead that into the bar fight, like, is just really well done, you know. And then to just end it off with that great button to where it's just like you can whistle really loud. Look, if you don't tell me your name, we're gonna have to make one up for you. Uhura. No way, that's the name I was gonna make up for you. So what's your last name? Uhura is my last name. So, what? They don't have last names on your planet?
Dude,
Uhura is my last name. So they don't have first names on your planet?
It's been 7 years since the last one.
7?
I thought it was 5. It came out 2016.
To quote Julie Andrews from Sound of Music, oh yes, but 7? What the fuck? Dude, we're old. Not really old, but also damn. And also Paramount, get the fuck on making a movie because I gotta be honest, your fucking shows aren't very good. Dude, I can't watch anymore Picard. I can't. I watched the first 6 episodes of the first season because everyone's been telling me how like amazing season 3 is. I I can't. I can't. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Like I think what started
Patrick Stewart is
makes
pretty
like
good, and I love Jonathan Frakes as Riker, but fuck, man, I'm just not subjecting myself to it anymore. I'm not. Even for this third season that is apparently amazing. I'm just not.
and it's weird because Paramount, they try to resurrect Transformers. They resurrected Scream last year,
Mm-hmm.
which they can have succeeded because I mean they made the last 2 Scream movies. I really like both of them.
Yeah.
1 and 2 are fucking awesome though.
I
Dungeons and
honestly have
Dragons was
never seen a
good.
Scream movie. I'm not a horror fan.
I know, but I think because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles also for Paramount, Viacom, Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I don't. The trailers for that new movie look great. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, me too. They resurrected iCarly on TV, which I watch.
I'll be right back.
Okay, we'll wait for this conversation.
Filibuster.
Filibuster. La 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 la. Welcome to Abraham Flores ASMR. Today we're gonna make mouth sounds. Let's see a Paramount picture.
I am back.
Thank you.
So yeah, they brought back iCarly. They're bringing back Zoe 101 for that special, which
Can you
is
share my
like,
screen?
yeah, which is like, did you see the trailer for that?
Yes.
I gotta say one thing. I'm happy it's just a movie, and also, dude, the fact that they got what's their faces are actually together, Logan and Quinn.
Uh-huh.
Like, because I gotta be honest, when I watched that show and they did that storyline, I shipping was not a thing back then, but I shipped those two, so I'm really happy that they're winding up together.
There's, you know what sheet posting is, right?
What?
Sheet posting.
Shit posting? Vaguely, that's just where you just like post a ton of shit, right?
No, but it's just like just making fun of shit like that. You know, like
Yeah, yeah,
stupid
yeah.
jokes, exaggerations.
Okay.
So you remember Mark Del Figalo, right?
I'm sorry.
Mark Del Figalo
Mark
from
Def-
Soy's Del Figalo. The one who
vaguely.
was the one who was boyfriends with Queen at the beginning.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So there's this whole fucking. So I follow this shit posting channel called Nostalgia, which is in
Okay.
Spanish. But there's a whole like the guy make a video about that guy. Like the whole channel is like religious to Mark Del Figalo and his love for salami. It's like that. It's one of the funniest
I haven't
things
watched
in my
Zoe.
life.
I haven't watched Zoe 101 in so many years. Probably not.
No,
Like
but
I liked it. Like I always liked the show, but it wasn't like one of my favorites. Like Ned's Classified or Drake and Josh were. I think I also liked iCarly even a little bit more. I don't know.
I think Drake and Josh was my favorite.
Oh, Ned's Classified was my favorite. Although, look, I like watching their podcast, but like, they really need to get off this whole like Paramount's not rebooting us, but they're rebooting Zone 101. It's like, okay, yes, we all agree.
I watched like the first 4 episodes and then it's because I never subscribed to the channel and it's kind of
Yeah.
like it just doesn't appear anymore.
I subscribed to the channel, but I watched the episodes here, and honestly, the only real I honestly don't follow any of the like I watch Talkville sometimes, some episodes. I don't follow any of those like deeply. Talking about those, did you hear the thing about the Wizards of Waverly Place one?
No, what?
So basically, the people doing it are the David DeLuise, who played the dad on the show, and the girl who played Harper. They're the ones who do the show, and this is probably a little bit ago, but on one of their last episodes, they called out David Henry and Jake T. Austin and a bunch of other people that they're like, we've sent you multiple emails since we started this and you haven't responded. You haven't come on this, blah, 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 blah. And they like, now their fans are like pissed at this because like Selena Gomez did like an episode. But the thing is, and I saw this on TikTok, somebody like who actually watches the show, like did a whole video to where like in the same episode, they like shit talk David Henry. And I'm like, well, yeah, no, fucking duh, he doesn't want to come. They're like, oh, David would always like, he would always want to like improv jokes and do all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, yeah, if I'm David Henry and I listen to that, I'm like, why the fuck would I come on your show? You're like shit talking me. And also, Justin was my favorite character on the show, but almost like, I also understand because like he was the geeky, nerdy character and like he didn't want to get stuck as that. Like, because
Who's Justin, the little brother?
No, Justin was the older brother.
Oh,
Max was the older brother.
but
regardless,
like that's one of the last shows I watched, and then I
yeah. I like that's one of my favorite Disney shows. I would say was a really good place. I watched some episodes on Disney Plus, and I realized they like edited shit out of those episodes. It's weird,
really?
But not for like bad reasons. Just like they just like. I don't know. They just like edited them down. It's weird because I was like, am I crazy? And then I went on Reddit and other people were like, they got rid of scenes. It's weird.
The point is that we were trying to make before the reboot talk.
Yeah, sorry.
They're resurrecting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They have a sequel for Paw Patrol coming out. Which I want. You want to know something? I wanted to watch the first one that came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And there's no way I can go to watch that shit alone. Frozen, maybe.
It's like, I'm gonna get on a list if I watch this at home by myself.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna
So
be like,
yeah, that's one other thing. Like, who can I take to watch this? Like,
what child can I steal to watch this?
exactly. It's one of
See,
those things
I
that
can
you wish
watch
you.
it in a couple of months because my sister's having a baby, so I'll be an uncle, so I'll have an excuse to watch
Yeah,
it
yeah. So
like
you
that.
can take
Oh
the
my god,
baby
wait a
to.
second, Abe! Boom! There we go. We can do a watch along with my my niece and or nephew.
We'll invite Kristen and Kara, which I think Kara is a little
Hell
older for
yeah.
Paw Patrol now. And we.
Dude, no,
Oh,
that's so much better because now when we curse on
wait.
stream, Kara can actually hear us.
Yes, yes.
Fuck yeah.
I'll bring my niece, which is 15, and it's like, what am I watching?
So we'll have the
this shit?
3 generations, like take 3.
Yes.
The
When my
baby, the
niece was
toddler, and
born,
the
like,
teenager.
yeah, my niece had like 10 years when TikTok started.
Yeah. All right. So let's get back to Abe wanting to watch the Paw Patrol movie, but not wanting to get on an FBI watch list. Dude, Killers
Yes.
of the Flower Moon.
Dude, I
Like,
want to watch that. I'm so excited.
so
for
do
that
I,
movie.
but it was not the first trailer. The second trailer gave you more of the story and was not what I thought it was going to be.
Dude, you know what I like? That, trailers usually come out like at 6 a.m. my time.
Okay.
So
No, I don't.
usually I watch trailers when I wake up. So it's kind of, I don't remember shit from trailers.
Fair enough.
Siri, shut up.
Dude, my
I
grandmother
put,
was here and she's Irish. She cannot get Siri to work. It's always, hi, Sarah.
no.
Oh my god.
I put the AirPods, the third generation
Oh, okay.
yesterday,
So
and I configured like, hey Siri.
mm-hmm.
Now I said,
okay.
hey Siri, and bitch doesn't respond. Hey Siri.
She's
Oye,
only going to
Siri.
respond when you don't want her to.
Oh,
But
there you go.
basically, the whole point
Siri,
of...
¿te escuchan?
Respeto tu privacidad y, por eso, solo escucho cuando me hablas.
Saying,
En el sitio de Apple
French.
encontrarás toda la información acerca de la protección de la privacidad de Apple.
Can you hear her though?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay. She's saying that she doesn't listen to us because she respects her privacy.
Nice. That's very nice. So what was the whole point of you pulling up that thing? Was there a point?
We were gonna say we're gonna reboot, the rebooting of Star Trek, but then we went into Paw Patrol and Joe.
Yeah, but I think honestly, the thing with the movies is I don't think Beyond did like super well at the box office, and I think with Paramount Plus now, they have so many shows. Even though I know like Discovery's done, Picard's done, Prodigy's done. I think Strange New Worlds is the only one that's going still, but I think that's honestly they just are like, we just want to do TV shows. Which, like, look, Star Trek was born out of TV, but like, fuck it. Like, Star Trek, thankfully, at least for me, is not to Star Wars level to where like they make a new Star Wars movie now. It's not going to be that special. You make a new Star Trek movie, it still is going to be special when it comes out, you know? So, I don't know. I would like them to do another one with the Kelvin timeline cast. That would be nice. But I don't know if they will.
You have to
So
wonder how much
on
Into
it.
Darkness kind of fucked up.
Into Darkness face planted so terribly, because the thing is about that movie is it angered Star Trek fans like me because of the way it just like changed its lore and did all that, and just the whole last act to where they reverse Wrath of Khan it and then just bring Kirk back immediately anyway. But then also just from just a storytelling perspective, it also just pissed away a bunch of goodwill you had from non-Star Trek fans who liked that first one. Like, it's funny, my friend Michael talks about this, with like Force Awakens. He's like, I don't know why that movie was so successful and people respond so well to it, considering that like Into Darkness came out before it, and this was J.J. Abrams. Like, we all kind of knew it was leading to nothing good.
I don't think, like, unless you're Spielberg, Nolan, I think Denis,
Mhm.
Who else? Tarantino. Like people don't care about the directors that much unless you're at
Sure.
that level. Right now,
No,
like
yeah.
maybe
Look,
before.
J. Abrams wants to think he's to like a Spielberg level now, but he's not. He's just
Bro. He's not a pinky of Spielberg.
no. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think if you ask J.J. Abrams because of like, oh, I've done Star Wars and Star Trek, he thinks he's on. He's
I don't.
dude, you're not on
Look.
his level.
He's probably more talented than we will ever be, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Out of respect, just so I sound humble and not.
Yeah, no, of course
Just
he
checking
is.
boxes. Yes.
Yeah, no,
But
we're
I
never
feel
gonna
like
break into the
he-
business. He broke into
I
the
think if you
business.
give him a good script, he's gonna make it, and he's gonna make a good movie.
Yeah, I mean, look
know?
at the first Star Trek movie. It's a good
But
movie.
I don't think he adds any juice to film.
I think he is a really good director for hire. I think you hire J.J. Abrams when you have a script that is really good, you're going to get a solid movie. But when you have J.J. Abrams developing the script, that's when you run into problems.
It's kind of Ron Howard. You know Ron Howard? Like
Yeah.
Ron Howard, it's a really good director. You give Ron Howard a really good script, he's gonna make you a really good movie.
Yep,
You
I
give
agree.
Ron Howard a shitty script, he's gonna make you a shitty movie.
Yeah. No, yeah.
He's not gonna.
Ron Howard has made some of my favorite movies. Backdraft, Willow, Apollo 13. He is a fantastic director, but he also did Heart of the Sea. You know,
Yeah.
like he is
The Da Vinci Code movies, which are really
I like Solo, but he was Solo, however, was just a mess when he came in. So I don't.
No, but he landed the
Solo.
ship. He landed the ship. I
No,
like
and
Solo
did.
too. He landed the ship.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't. Solo is one of those movies that I gotta, because I really like that movie. It's one of the most rewatchable Star Wars movies for me. And I know I was one of the people who on this channel was very vocal when it came out, but I love it now. But no, I agree with that. But if you get Ron Howard, there are directors like a Spielberg who are so skilled at their craft that they can overcome a iffy script. Ron Howard and J.J. Abrams are not that skilled. And it's not saying that they aren't skilled. It's just like there's a different... Dude, it's not an offense to J.J. Abrams or to Ron Howard. It's just Steven Spielberg's mind just exists differently than most of our filmmakers.
Yeah, like have you watched
in the same way
BFG?
Tarantino does too? Like,
oh no, it's the BFG. The BFG. Have you watched the BFG?
No, I haven't actually. That's one of the ones of his I haven't seen.
That's directed by Spielberg. Material subpart, if you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But you still see things that it's like, why the fuck you did this? How?
No,
why?
It's because again, this dude is just like. But again, if you watch The Fabelmans, like, one, great movie, but two, it also kind of gives you a clue into just who the fuck he's been since he was a child. It's like, yeah, it makes sense. It just makes sense.
The Fabelmans, such a good movie.
I really love that movie.
Such a good movie.
I really need to watch it again. It really is fantastic.
That how we seen when the bully confronts him, like, why
oh yeah, why did you make me
the hero? That's the most, like,
and then the way he reacts to where it's just like, you're such an asshole, like you got to be all of this, and
it just shows you. I think it's Spielberg telling you, like, we as filmmakers, or him as a filmmaker, we just want to tell great stories. Yeah, but we just want to tell great stories no matter what. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter who it is. Who is it about? We just want to tell great stories.
And that, that movie is really stellar. That movie, I really like that movie. Yeah, and Paul Dano, man, is so quietly great in that. Like that moment,
the ultimate cuckold.
Dude, that moment at the end with the pictures of the barbecue, and then the sort of like, if you don't want to go back to school, just don't go back. You know, like he just plays this dude who's just like broken, Like, because if you know anything about Steven Spielberg's like family history, which the HBO documentary, which I think is on Max now, watch it. It's really good. I talked about it when we talked about Fablemans. That's why I knew what was going to happen, because I saw that documentary. So the minute Seth Rogen, I knew what was going to happen between the two of them.
Dude.
But if you know,
Dude, I knew it when I saw the friend was living with the parents. I was like, I didn't know it before, but I was like, of course.
but the thing is that, like, if you know, the story is basically, and the movie kind of portrays it not exactly what happened. Basically, the whole thing is that, like, Spielberg's dad knew how much his kids loved their mom. So basically, when it came to the divorce, it was all his fault. He wanted the divorce. He, like, all these things. It was because of him. And they got back together, actually. Like, his parents are back together now. So, because, and that's what I like, is that, like, he is still in love with her at the end of that movie. And that's why, looking at the pictures, like, he is still in love with her. He never stopped loving her. He divorced her because he had to let her explore this. But yeah, Paul Dano was really good at that. And the actor playing Spielberg is also really, really good too. And yeah, that's a really good movie. But again, it just goes back to, again, Spielberg he's my favorite director. He just operates on a different plane of existence, you know? Like, I'm sorry, people talk about it all the time, but I gotta go back to it. This dude made Jurassic Park and Schindler's List in the same year. Like, he literally went from this science fiction blockbuster about dinosaurs to this heart-wrenching drama about the Holocaust. Like, and when I say this, he literally talked about how during the post-production of Jurassic Park was when production was starting on Schindler's List. How he did that and neither one of the movies suffered, I will never know.
He has a lot of range, but comedy.
I'm sorry?
He has a lot of range, but comedy.
Okay, yeah, 1941 is the one time he did a comedy and it did not work.
Yes.
But hey, you know what? He tried it. And
I mean,
you know
I
what?
know.
The other thing, look, the respect to Spielberg is he tried it. It didn't work. He does Raiders of the Lost Ark immediately after that. And then he's just like, okay, comedy is not my genre. You know, like, hey, give credit to him that he tried.
Yeah,
I've honestly never seen 1941, so I can't judge it.
Me neither, but what everybody says.
Oh, yeah. Also, it's just like, regardless of what you think in the movie, it failed at the box office. Well, the problem with it was not only failed at the box office, but it also went way over budget, which happened on Close Encounters as well. Close Encounters went way over budget, but it was a big success. And this is the thing about just Hollywood in general. You can go over budget, and if your movie is a massive success, no one's going to care. If your movie goes over budget and then underperforms, everybody cares about going over budget. And so that was the other thing about Raiders, was George Lucas wanted to do that movie for cheap. And so that's one of the reasons why Steven was really happy to do that, because he also wanted to show Hollywood that he could make a movie on a small budget, you know, and on time too. He was very clear about, like, keeping the schedule with Raiders. And Raiders is, I think, his best movie. I know we debated this when we did our whole rankings of that group of directors, and we decided Jaws is his best, but my favorite is still Raiders. Speaking of which, I watched Jaws last week or the week before. That movie is incredible. Like, it's so good, man. That movie is so good.
Jaws. I haven't watched Jaws in a while.
Dude, do it. Do it. Just, honestly, I just pick a night and just watch it. Just, like,
you know what it is? Like,
and you know what? This is what I'm going to say, and I say this to everybody,
and
I want to get better at doing this, because I wish I had done this with Jaws actually last time. I know it's hard but when we're watching movies at home. But I honestly would recommend, if you're able to, because like in my house, when it gets dark, like and you turn no lights on, it almost feels like you're in a theater. Turn your phone off. Like just really allow yourself. Because I honestly, I do that. I get too used to sort of, let me just check Twitter during this moment, or it's not when I'm watching movies. Usually, if I have to go to the bathroom, I come back and I honestly want to just pick a movie like that, like Jaws or something, and just turn my phone off and just like allow myself to just like totally immerse myself in the movie.
Look, I cannot do that because I have problems. But I'm gonna tell
No,
you
me
this.
too. I
I'm
have
gonna
that
tell you
problem
this
too.
about the movies I watch. Because I watch, I watch like, if in a good day, I watch 3 movies a day.
I
If
watched
you
two
can make
movies
me,
today. And that was
if
good.
you can make me leave my computer and leave my phone, you got something going.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm usually watching the time when I'm on the movie theater, like on my
Mhm.
watch or just the phone, like a little bit, whatever.
Oh, you don't say I turn my phone off in the theater.
Oh no, I'm kind of paranoid with that, dude. I sleep with my phone like full volume, emergency, whatever. I don't know.
Oh, why? Just are you afraid that something's gonna happen?
Yeah, but like not because something happens always, but it's just
No,
you
I
know
guess that's fair. I
that's
personally
just me.
just
Yeah.
hate people being on their phones, and I just never want to be that
Oh no,
person.
no.
And the thing is my family knows that now. Like they know when I go to a movie that like if you tried to text me, I'm not going to like. True story. My sister got engaged when I was seeing the double feature of Dracula and and Frankenstein, and so I came out to like a bunch of texts that my mom even asked. But like again, my family just knows that. They know that like if Matt's seeing a movie, he's gonna have his phone off, and they respect that. Thankfully. Talk
I'm
about movies. I saw
gonna
Dazed and Confused at the Art House Theater near me for the 30th anniversary on last Friday. So great. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, man. That is such a good movie. If I could only have turned around and slapped the women sitting behind me, so annoying. Some people should not go to the theater because I knew there was a problem when they sat down. Basically, I think these women had been drinking before they got there, and it was between singing the songs and quoting the movie as it happens. I was like, but these women were like 40 years old or older, and so I knew if I turned around and was like, "You shut the fuck up," like they wouldn't. They would have been like, "This fucking asshole." My mom asked me, she's like, "Why didn't you move?" I'm like, "Because I got to the theater early because there's a seat that I like to get in that theater. Fuck them. I'm not moving." So I just sat there and took it. I don't know about have you ever confronted anybody? I've never actually done the can you just please you're disrupting the movie. I always think about it, but then I basically my thing is most times I'm always just like they're not gonna listen to me, so what's the point? You know?
sorry, I'm just answering a
You're
message.
fine.
I've
You're
never
fine.
do it, but it's so funny. I don't know. So I went to watch, My Hero Academia. You know the anime?
Yeah. I know I've
Okay.
heard it. I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
So I went and watched the movie that came out, and this woman started talking on their phone, and this guy started shoot, until that woman fucking got it. I think this was this year. I think it was no, it wasn't John Wick. I don't remember which movie.
Abe is frozen.
Okay, so where did I left?
You left off with I'm not sure if it was John Wick, but
Okay, I'm not sure it was John Wick, but it was a big movie. I
okay, yeah,
kid
yeah,
you
yeah.
not. Same guy, dude. I'm sure it was the same guy. I go to watch John Wick with it. He sat right next to me. My Hero Academia was in front of me. He was by
Yeah.
himself. This person, I don't know if they're talking or they had their phone off, but the guy just started shouting, shh, or like telephone, like phone.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same guy because that shh, they were talking because that shh was really
Yeah.
recognizable.
I've heard this before. Yeah, it's just I always talk myself out of
No,
it.
and different theater. It was different theater.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One of them was the same guy. I'm sure it's the same guy.
Probably. But again, I always talk myself out of it because it's just like, because look, people like that. It just it's really annoying, but like, unfortunately, like and what particularly annoying me about that was it was a anniversary screening in an art house theater. Everyone who was there were fans of Days of Confused. It's like, we all know this movie. I know this movie backwards and forwards. There are lines that I could quote, and I was kind of silently quoting to them. We know the songs, but like, we get it. But like, shut the fuck up and just let us watch this movie, please.
Which else? One, I think it was Halloween Kills.
Okay.
I had to move. Like, it was a group of like 4 people. They were fucking adults. They were like older than me. They were like on their 30s. They were talking the whole fucking movie, like commenting, "Oh my god, damn!"
That's the worst too when it's like
it's
these
like,
women. I'm like, they're older.
I
and
get
that's
the
like,
reaction, or like somebody, "Oh, you don't remember what happened in the last one?" And they just explaining, dude. I went to the bathroom, and I said, because I needed to go to the bathroom, like I needed to.
Yeah.
So come back to the theater. I see them, and I was like, no, and sat like on one of the front rows,
Yep.
like the 4th row.
Yeah,
It's like, I couldn't.
It's so annoying because it's like, I always say, these are the people to where it's like, again, not for new movies, but for these sort of like revival screenings. It's like, just, you definitely own the movie. Just fucking invite all your friends over to just watch the movie at home with you, like, because then you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I just think there is this sort of like, and what's weird is for some reason that shit doesn't happen when you go to a Broadway play. Like, it doesn't happen when you go to a Broadway play. Well, for some reason, Broadway. I'm just filibustering at this point. Broadway and all that stuff like has this sanctity of silence, but fucking the movie theater does not, and it's extremely annoying. So Abe is on the phone right now. He's probably talking with the guy from the theater. The guy's probably telling him.
No, I was calling my friend that if we can go watch Mission Impossible right now, and I'm gonna.
Nice.
We'll still have level 45 minutes before I need to leave.
Okay. Nice. So we can.
We're good.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, like I said, I think I'm, because like I said, I gotta watch all these Tom Cruise movies this week, so I'm not gonna do it this week, but I think next week I'll try and go back to see it on one of my days off. Just cause I want to see it again. It's like Top Gun Maverick. It's a movie that I just want to experience.
What's your favorite Tom Cruise movie?
Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire is my favorite.
Jerry Maguire. I'm a Jerry Maguire guy.
Jerry Maguire and Rain Man are my top 2. I love those movies.
Rain Man is really good, dude. His performance there is. Dude, you know what I watched recently? I don't know. I don't know. We talk about it. I watched Color of Money.
Oh, great movie! Great movie. Sandy actually was the one who told me to watch that.
Fucking amazing. Him and Paul Newman. Fuck.
Have you ever heard the story that Tom Cruise tells about that movie?
Ever told me about it?
So,
see if I
when they're doing like pre-pro in the movie, obviously they're picking wardrobe, and Paul Newman for this one scene picks this big fur coat, and Tom Cruise picks this like slick leather jacket, and they go and they shoot the scene when it's freezing cold, and Paul Newman's wearing this big fur coat, and Tom Cruise is wearing this small leather jacket, and Paul Newman, like, I forget exactly what, but it was basically just like, you know, like, this is why you pick wardrobe like this, kid. Like, it was basically one of those like lessons from an old actor. But yeah, great movie. He's fantastic in it too. And I love Tom Cruise, like the story of like just like trying to make that character just like really stupid to the point to where like he has a shirt that has his name on it so he can remember it. But yeah, great. Color Money is great. That's a really good movie. Really good movie. But yeah, Rain Man, the thing for me is people don't give him enough credit for that role. Because of Dustin Hoffman.
I'm thinking of mine.
Yeah. That's I'm just talking about Rain Man. What do you think? But like, because the thing is Dustin Hoffman is amazing in that. But Dustin Hoffman, like, Raymond doesn't change in that movie. Charlie changes as a character. Like, I love that he starts the movie off as he's this like wheeling, dealing dude. His dad dies, and then he doesn't get this money. He finds out he has a brother, and at first he like kind of kidnaps him to like basically get what he think is due to him. Then he develops this relationship with his brother, and he wants to take care of his brother. He wants his brother to live with him. And I love that moment when Raymond wakes up and he makes the waffles in the toaster and he forgets about them, and the smoke detector goes off and he's freaking out and Charlie's trying to calm down. And I love that really Charlie has that realization that like letting him live in that it's not a hospital. I'm not sure what they would call it, but that sort of home, like that
clinic, like a clinic.
That's the best place for him. And I just love that. Like, I'm gonna come and see you this weekend. Like, that change of that character. I just get emotional every time I watch that movie. I really think Cruise, and again, that was such an early performance in his career. It just really showed how really great of an actor he is. And I think that's something that people forget because he does a lot of these action movies and, you know, it's like, oh, he plays himself and all this stuff. People forget Tom Cruise is a really good actor. Like, I love Jerry Maguire because there's so many different facets that he plays in that movie. And just like that movie is just that moment when Renee Zellweger and him decide that she's like, you know, let's treat this next road trip as what it is, a good break. Like, basically she's saying that like, we're going to get a divorce. And that moment when he's in Ray's bedroom and he looks at the fish and he just goes, it was just a mission statement. Like, this whole thing of just like, this was not the plan. This was not supposed to happen. Like, it's great. It's really, yeah, I love that movie because it's funny. You get the dramatic side of, yeah. If you liked Color Money just for an early Tom Cruise, watch All the Right Moves. Great movie.
Look, I think as a movie, his best movie where he has started in, it's probably Top Gun Maverick.
Fair enough.
Around that.
Yeah.
Or I really like Last Samurai. A Few
I
Good
like
Men.
Last Samurai too.
Saw it recently. A Few Good Men. Saw it recently.
Yeah, great.
Fucking amazing. Fucking incredible.
Yep. Fantastic.
But if you have to go like straight up favorite, which one I rewatch the most? Rock of Ages.
Really? I've never seen it actually.
Dude, you just have like, maybe you don't care about whatever it is. You have to watch him as Stacey Jacks. Like, or maybe do yourself a favor and watch clips on YouTube.
I've seen clips of him singing. I've seen Dead or Alive?
Playing that character, dude.
Oh, really? Okay.
He's so fucking great in it. Like maybe the movie around him is not that good. I liked it because I'm a sucker for musicals and rock and but him just being a character you never see him play.
Yeah.
Like, he's this badass drug rock star guy. And you can see him like he really is in the character. And you believe him and you eat it like, this guy is actually a rock star that gets all the fucking smoke hats that he wants.
Stuff, man. He commits.
Yeah. He commits.
Tom Cruise is one of my favorites. I as most people know, I'm a very big Tom Cruise fan. My sister makes fun of me for it all the time because she doesn't like him because of the Scientology thing. Which, okay, fine, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair
like
enough.
if
It's fine.
you can put his
Dude,
Scientology to the side.
him and Gibson are two people to where it's like they got politics and they got views that I don't really agree with, but as artists, fucking love both of them.
No, but I don't know, dude. It's like like science is weird, right? No, science, religion is weird, right?
Yeah.
Scientology is kind of weird. But it's like condemning somebody for being a Catholic.
But this is okay. But this is my thing too. With that is like the Scientology thing is like now. I've never looked into it, but there are apparently all these things that they've done these horrible things and everything.
Yes,
but I'm
yes, I
also
know.
just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Have
all
you
you
watched The
Christians,
Master?
you. No, I haven't.
It talks
But-
about
But
Scientology and how
basically,
it
my
kind of
whole
works.
thing is just this: like Lee Remini and all these people. I'm just like, y'all want to crack open a history book and see what the Catholic Church has done? You want to watch Spotlight? I'm just saying, let's not pretend like Scientology is the only
yes.
bad religion that has done horrible.
Which still
things.
wrong. Like everything's wrong. Like
It's still
everything.
wrong. Yeah,
So like he does like and you see the care he has when I watched a couple like 3
dude, I'm sorry.
50-minute interviews with him the other day after watching Mission Impossible,
Yeah,
and you can hear the passion he has for the project since then.
dude. Not only that, but like simple stuff of just like, have you ever heard about the Christmas cakes?
No.
He has, I'm not sure it's his bakery, but for people, Kirsten Dunst, like all these actors and like crew people and all this stuff, every Christmas he sends them a cake with a personalized note. Like, and this is every year, like Kirsten Dunst has talked about since she did Interview with a Vampire, every year she gets these cakes. Like, John Hamm talks about how he met Tom Cruise at one of Jimmy Kimmel's like Super Bowl parties or something, and he like remembered him when he was casting Top Gun Maverick. Like, and also watch him on the Graham Norton show. Graham Norton asks him, he's like, "Do you remember the first thing you did with your first like big paycheck?" And the first thing he did was he paid for his sister's college tuition. Like, say what you want with the Scientology.
Which was like $7,000 back in the day. Which
Dude, but still, the fact that like
I know.
he could have went and bought like a car or a this or that, and he was like, "No, I'm gonna pay for my sister." Like, dude, I just again, if you hate him because it's Scientology, that's fine. But I just, dude, also just like I saw this interview today he had with a small theater that was on the red carpet for Mission Impossible, and he was talking to him, and he just talked. He's like, "I just love movies. I love sitting in a theater with my popcorn and just like watch a movie and experience that. That's why I want to make these movies." Dude, I'm sorry. The fucking video of him where it's just, "I love my popcorn."
The Pepsi one?
It's so great. I love my popcorn.
What else?
I said, look, mom and dad, they're working together. Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise are saving movie theaters.
Dude, I think that's one of the reasons he has been producing all his films for a while now. Because he wants to have that creative control of giving the audience.
Talking about Mission Impossible. That was the first time he produced a movie.
I know, but like you show that you see that care he has for the audience.
And this is the thing: is him being a producer on movies is not like some of these other movies to where they throw like George Lucas being an executive producer on Dial Destiny. Like sometimes they'll just throw these names, or Sylvester Stallone being an executive producer on Creed 3. It's just like you throw these names out there and they really didn't do anything. Tom Cruise is a part of every part of the production.
Yeah, because I think like Harrison Ford is producer of Dial Destiny, I think.
Yeah, and it's like Harrison Ford definitely was just like, fucking call me when we're shooting.
Yeah, like, bro, what did you do?
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like, again, it's like we've talked about it before, but like, I totally believe when Tom Cruise says he watches a movie every night. Like, I 100% believe that he watches a movie every night. And it's probably a mix. He probably watches some new movies. He probably watches some classics. Like, he's a
cinephile. He's a cinephile.
Yeah, he is like true and true. And you know what?
Like a lot of actors are not
great movies. Yeah, a lot of actors aren't Yeah,
which is
a lot,
fine.
and that's
Like
okay.
honestly,
Yeah,
it's fine because they're interested in acting, maybe in theater, and they end up in the
yeah. Well, a
film
lot of
screen.
again, you look at a lot of actors started it. You know, like people like Al Rickman, all this stuff. You know, they started in theater and then they migrate to film. You know, or they start in television or something. But yeah, some of them just like
Dude,
they
or
they
even
just like
directors.
acting.
Like I can point out one example. You know, have
Mhm.
you ever watched the Hollywood Reporter roundtables?
I watched some of
So you
them.
know who? Oh, you're Marielle Heller, one of my favorite directors, which is making a movie that Amy Adams that's come out next week, next year.
What is she made
Can you
before?
ever forgive me? No.
I didn't see it, but I know it.
Okay, but the Diary of a Teenage Girl, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so she directed that,
Great
and they're
movie. I
asking,
really
and
like that
she's
movie.
like, I don't know who's talking. I don't know which table she shares. Well, they're talking deep fucking film history and shit. And she
Mhm.
says like, I'm not a cinephile, you know, like it's not something I grew up with. But like you still see her work, which I really enjoy. Like I fucking love all three movies.
Yeah.
And you see that she has the craftsmanship,
Well,
which is maybe it's
it's
natural because some people are
some
just
yeah, some
talented.
you don't have to be. It's not a prerequisite to work in Hollywood to have to love Hollywood, but like there are look, say what you will about him. George Lucas is a massive cinephile. Star Wars was born out of him being a cinephile, you know, like
Yeah, you see,
there are
you
just
know.
some creatives who like Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Tom Cruise, who are just they love movies. They love you know,
No, dude, and I don't want to question our love for film, and I really fucking love
or Quentin
movies.
Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino is a massive
No,
film fan.
but when you hear those fuckers talk, I know
Yes.
they're older than us. It's
Yeah.
like fucking Danish film from 1937, bro. I'm not gonna watch a Danish film from 1937.
Dude, well,
I'm
that's
sorry.
like Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith tells this story about so when he made Clerks 2, he said he always tries to, if he can, he always tries to show Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez his movies before he releases them because they were the three, like, basically, they're the three guys that built Miramax in a way, and so they've remained kind of close over the years, and he just really respects them. And he tells this story to where, like, they had finished screening the movie and whatever, and he was talking to Quentin, and like Quentin was talking to him about the movie, and he was like, "I think this is your best work since Chasing Amy," and just the way he talked about Chasing Amy, like Kevin Smith, like could feel that like Quentin's a
Which movie are
genuine
you talking
fan.
about? Which movie are you talking about? That he
Uh
showed them to them?
oh, Clerks 2.
Okay, I have.
Yeah, but it was more of a story to where like Kevin Smith realized that like Quentin is a genuine fan of his movies, and again, like Quentin Tarantino, you just like again, that's I haven't listened to his podcast yet, but like
I was.
he's someone who I just love listening to talk about movies.
Dude, he's just so passionate. You can see the love. You can
Yeah,
truly see the love.
it's
Even
why I wish
dude,
he
it's
did audio
that's why I love
commentaries for his
watching.
movies.
I love Scorsese
Mhm.
too. Like when you hear him in interviews, like you can see how much care he has for the whole industry, and it's kind of. Have you? Did you see the quote that he says that there's so much stories he still wants to tell, but so little time?
Yeah,
Which
no, I
kind of
didn't
is
hear
like,
him, which
well,
is
he said
sad.
it. Yeah, because mortality. You know, he's 81,
Yeah, yeah.
but
I
it's
mean,
kind of.
dude, that is honestly, it's the sad thing about, and again, this is probably many episodes ago when we did that sort of like discussion of that, Sir De Palma, Zemeckis, Lucas, Spielberg, Scorsese kind of like grouping. It's just like, it is unfortunate to think because look, two certainties in life are birth and death. It's sad to think that like eventually, and that is, which again with this AI and with these things, it's like it is scary to think of like what is Hollywood going to look like when we don't have the Scorseses and the Spielbergs and the Cruises working. Like I would hope that new like Tarantino's rise up, these people who are massive fans of film and
I
everything.
think you see it like if you have to compare, right? Like
Mhm.
necessary measures. I think Denis Villeneuve is taking that kind of.
Yeah, he is. I love
I
Ready
think
Player One
I
2049.
think Jordan Peele, dude. I think Jordan Peele.
See, I haven't
It's
seen his movies because I'm not really
okay.
a horror person.
Yeah, but I think Jordan Peele is taking. I
Okay.
think Greta Gerwig, how Barbie's reacting and what she said, like she want to become
Mhm.
one of those. And you see it on her work. I'm not a fan of Little Women because I don't like custom dramas, not because of
Yeah.
how the movie is. I realized
It's not
that
your
when I
thing.
watch Little Women, custom dramas not for mine,
Yeah, it's not for you.
not for myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Lady Bird, fucking awesome. Have you watched Lady Bird?
No, I haven't. I
It's really
so
fucking.
funny. So on Twitter, there's been this thing going around with the Barbie Oppenheimer thing to where it's like sort of your favorite film of like the director and then some of the actors in it. And I realized I didn't do it because I'm like, I don't think I've seen a Greta Gerwig film.
She only has 4 films.
That's what I'm saying. I have seen Lady Bird. I
Yeah.
haven't seen
Uh, Little Women.
Little Women. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
But yeah, okay. Again, I'm just saying, because I love movies, and me and Eve, we both said we're never going to break into this industry ever. So you know,
I want to finish, and I have something. I forgot to say
which
something.
I'll be honest, I don't think I could if I wanted to, because I made a movie. It's not very good. And I like writing, but my scripts are not as strong as I want them to be. I think I'm better at, honestly, as I get older. I think I'm better, even though I still like writing and I'm still, I have script ideas and all these things. I think I'm a better analyst of film than I am maker of film.
When do you make the movie?
Which is kind of senior year of high school.
Okay, someone told this, and I realized this. So I make my first short film when I was like 12, right? Probably had to watch.
Oh, I made a bunch of action figure movies when I was a kid.
But let me get to it.
Yeah.
I had watched at that point probably like 300, 400 movies in my life, right? And then the last thing I did was 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of a mockumentary. And you see that craftsmanship that has added to it, which at that point I probably had watched 600, because I was getting into this cinephile shit, like which ones I watch. I'm sure, dude, that if I make something again, the next thing I make, it's gonna be so fucking different, and I'm gonna up my quality because I watched 2000 now. I have all that influence.
I think
that because it's education at the end. Like if you want to watch films,
I agree. Because look, I'll be honest. The movie I made, it was for my senior English project, because the whole thing about it was there had to be a writing component and a presentation component to it. So me and my friend Cortland, we made a movie. I wrote it. I was very heavily inspired by 2 people, John Hughes and Kevin Smith. So it was written about high schoolers. It was set over the course of one day, and we did it at the high school. Again, I like that I made it. I like that it was really the first time that I wrote something and, made a movie. It's not very good because, like, my friends are not really actors. The fact that they did it with me was very nice. I told the story before about how it was a comedy. I screened it for my class. Nobody laughed. And it was the first time I ever was like, oh my God, I think I'm horrible at this. If I made a movie now, I think it would be better, because there's movies that impacted me, not even in like, oh, they're my favorite films of all time, but I just saw when I was in college that I think like a movie like Reservoir Dogs, to where I'm like, holy shit, you can make a movie that's just like with insanely good, because not say that Clerks doesn't have good dialogue, but it's very like normal, like pop culture. Whereas Reservoir Dogs, like, you get a movie with insanely good dialogue, but they're basically just in one place the entire time. Like, again, like, I just, the thing is unfortunately, because of how things are, I don't have anyone to make a movie with, even if I wanted to,
You know what you can do?
What?
A solo movie.
Well, there's the Vinny movie that I really want to make one day. There is this. So most people probably don't even remember who Vinny is. Vinny was a character.
We'll get Malcolm to go to New York,
dude. If I could get like you and Manny and like Malcolm for just like 3
2 days.
weeks to just like bang this thing out, it
2
would be
days.
incredible.
We can do it in 2 days.
Oh, probably. Because I want to say this. So many of you who are newer probably don't even know who Vinny is. He was this character I created for the summit.
He was gay.
No, he wasn't. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, dude, he was a happy guy. That's what I mean. I was.
For a second. I'm gonna talk about. Have you ever seen that deleted scene from Back to the Future?
No, I don't know.
So the whole thing is that there's this lead scene with Doc and Marty before Marty goes on the date with his mom, and he's talking to Doc. He's just like, I don't know, Doc. I'm really scared because like, what if something happens? What if I go back to the future and I'm gay? And Doc just goes, well, shouldn't you be happy about that? It's just okay. But going back,
sorry. You just brought back. I just want to mention why I brought back.
Actually, so Vinny
I was reading newspapers from 1930, looking for something for Gone with the Wind, and it was it was a really gay moment.
It changed. It was originally just meant happy. Yeah, hence the Christmas song, or fucking the Flintstones will have a gay old time, happy old time. Back to what I was saying. Actually, Vinny was born out of a conversation with John Roca. We were on Skype with him. I think it was after we did an interview with him. And he was asking, it was early on in Take 3, he was asking where we're all from. And I said I was from New York. And he called me out. He was like, you don't sound like you're from New York. So I did this like various things. I was like, oh, yo, I just got the fucking F train and shit, And then when we were doing the summit, I introduced the character, Vinny. Or it wasn't the summit. No, I think we did the review of Black Panther with Vinny and Raul. It was before the summit. I want to say it was before the summit. It was around the same time. But regardless, the point is I created this character and I brought him back several times for several different crazy things throughout the years. Haven't done it in years. Honestly, I'd have to go back and watch old videos to remember how I did the voice. But I've had this idea for a really long time that I want to do this movie because one of the other big pillars of Vinny is that his best friend is Kermit the Frog. How I decided that, probably just because the number voice I did was Kermit the Frog. But basically, the plot is it starts with that vine to where it's. Have you ever seen it? I'm just gonna pull it up. Just give me a second here. Can't want to do this to myself. Okay,
so Kermit the Frog puppet, it's $30, dude. I think we can make it work.
Here's the thing. So this is like one of the open.
Oh my god! Oh jeez! Oh my god!
So basically, the thing in the movie is it opens up, and basically everyone thinks Kermit the Frog committed suicide. Vinny refuses to accept that Kermit committed suicide. He knows that there is some bullshit to that. And there's a U.S. Marshal that gets involved in this, and it basically becomes Vinny trying to hunt down the actual killer. Yes, this movie is basically The Fugitive, but with Vinny. And at the end of the movie, you find out who Kermit actually was murdered, and it was done by Fozzie Bear because he was pissed off that Kermit's been hogging the limelight for all these years. The movie ends with behind a 7-Eleven, Fozzie and Vinny get into a bloody fist fight, and basically Vinny has the opportunity to kill him. He doesn't do it, and the marshal shows up. And basically the movie ends with the exact same way The Fugitive ends, to which you say, I thought you said you didn't care. I don't, Vinny. I don't care. That is this movie I've had. There's also a moment to where, because Vinny is a big Stallone fan, his favorite movie is Expendables 3, which that was born out of a live stream thing. But there's actually a moment to where he gets a call from Sylvester Stallone, which the way I've envisioned it, because I've been thinking about this movie for years, is the call is basically, I'm going to just take snippets from a bunch of Sylvester Stallone motivational speeches and just mash them together into a sword. So it's like part of the Rocky Balboa speech, part of just like one of his random like Instagram live stream things, and it just ends with "keep punching." But yeah, I've had this idea forever, but like I haven't written a script. It's just all existed up here. I'm just like,
I think this is how we do it, right? Because
Ow.
you're right and star on it, right?
yeah, of course. I play 3 characters in the movie. I play Vinny,
Yeah,
I play the
yeah.
fictional version of myself, and I play the U.S. Marshal Samuel Gerard,
Exactly.
which
We
is me
make
with a mustache from the dollar store.
make Manning directed because he's a professional, you know.
Yes, he is.
He
is a
wanna
professional.
just be.
Yep.
I'm the stunt coordinator.
Oh, for the fight scene with Fozzie?
Yes, because
Dude,
I
I'm
took
telling you, I've gone
karate.
to
I took
insane
karate
lengths.
as a kid.
Dude, no. I took her as a kid too, so I can do my own stunts. But like, dude, I went to insane levels to where I'm just like, I know how I do the blood. I get Kool-Aid, which is a big thing, put it in my mouth, get some of those fake blood capsules. Like, I plan this shit out. It's just I don't have anyone to make it with. And dude, we got production value. My family owns a bar, so we could shoot scenes in the bar when it's closed.
If you give me a day and you give me a script, I will fly to New York and stay in the bar and we'll shoot that shit.
I'm just saying, it's one of those things to where if I could get a group of people to do it, because it would not take that long. It would basically just be, it's like I had the idea, it's just to write the script. Because again, it's basically, it starts off with, okay. Again, I thought about all these things. So the opening is actually a montage that's in like black and white, and it's like it's set to that song. Do you know that it's Mad World? It's like it's a mad world.
You know where Malcolm lives?
New Zealand?
Yeah, but what?
What's the fucking Hobbit village, Hobbiton. It's in Hobbiton, doesn't he?
I think we save money.
Oh,
we all
we
save money.
Malcolm here.
Bro, fucking tickets are like $1,300.
That's $1,300.
I know, but I think for it's part of the budget. We can pay.
What budget? No, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
cancel this. It's way more expensive than I thought.
Dude, this is the thing. This is just how fucked up my brain is. I thought of every aspect of this movie except for a full script because, like, I thought about the marketing for this is I just steal Logan. Like the trailers just cut to that song from Logan, and again, there's a bit
I
to
heard
where
myself today.
Yeah, but the ending of the trailer is it's literally Patrick Stewart. It's literally Vinny. We still have time. Of course we do. What the fuck are you talking about? And the poster is like, the Logan poster to where it was like his one hand with the claws. The Vinny poster it's him holding a Miller Lite bottle. I'm just saying, I've just not written the script because I was just like, honestly, it's like to write the script and then what? Do what? Better to just have this movie exist in my head.
You have to write it, bro. And we'll
I'm still writing the sports movie script.
Bro, we'll hire a couple hookers, $300 a night. We say like, we don't want you for your work. Maybe, have the night goes now. But we say like, we just need extras.
I don't know. It's just like I would love to do it. It's just like I don't know.
You can take you 40 hours to get to. Dude, that's a fucking. I was looking for a vacation to Fiji, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to go to Fiji.
Okay.
And just to close the show with this, because I kind of need to get ready.
Yeah.
5 more minutes. And it's like, you have to go, like, if you want to go there 4 days, you have to fucking take like 6 days. Why?
Yeah.
Because of the change of schedule? It's like, you're losing 2 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's kind of fucked up. So you have to, because you fly here and it's Fiji tomorrow. So it's kind of like, you get me? So
that's kind of like how when my friend went to Australia, you have to fly to LA and then fly from LA to Australia. There's no like, unless you live in LA, there's no direct flight to Australia.
Oh, no. Like, I wouldn't mind going to LA. It's 4 hours for me. It's just nothing. But
I'm just not understanding. What explain this to me because I don't travel a lot.
No, me neither. But
What are you trying to say? This 4 days is actually 6 days. What is that?
why? Because New Zealand time.
Because just of how long it takes to fly.
No, so it's 3:30 in New
Mhm.
Zealand right now,
Yeah.
right? So for me, it's 8:30. So
Oh,
it's
you mean because of the time zones,
time
you lose so
difference.
much
Yes.
time. Okay. Okay, now I
So you lose
understand.
so
I
much
thought
time.
that's why I thought you were talking about just travel time. Okay.
No, so it's just I will be, no. It's actually not that long of what because you just go like Hawaii, Fiji is not that far,
Mhm.
and if you make a stop, just for direct, like from LA, there's direct flights anywhere.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, you're lucky. I mean, New York has a lot of direct flights too. It's like because those are the two, but like to stuff
No,
like
because
that.
bro, you can get to Paris like in 5 hours, right?
Not sure.
Like how much you? What's the time for Ireland? Like
I
4
don't know. We
hours?
haven't really looked into it. We kind of like just last week decided that we were going to Ireland. So I mean, I don't have a passport. I have to get a new updated passport. Yeah. Which
7
is one of the
hours.
yeah.
Oh no,
How
but
long?
with connection.
Wait, how
7
long
hours.
is to Ireland?
7 hours.
Oh Jesus Christ!
6:45, 6:35.
Sorry, I talked to my mom about this. I get claustrophobic on planes. I really don't like planes. I don't get
Get high.
claustrophobic a lot, but I get
Get high.
claustrophobic on planes. No, what I need to do is just like I just need to have my DVD player and just have a bunch of movies that I like and just like fully immerse myself into movies. That's the only way I'm going to be able to survive on the flight. Is just like have my DVD player and just like
I
bring a bunch of
always thought
movies.
it was. Oh, you know what? It's 7 hours because of the time difference, maybe.
I do not
No,
know.
because there's a 5 hours. I don't know, dude. Oh no, you will be. So if you live in New York at midnight, you get to Ireland at 2 p.m.
Okay, so that's
14
whatever. Fuck it. I just that's the one thing.
5 hours.
Just
Ireland
like,
is 5 hours. 5 or
that's
4 hours.
that's the one thing to where I'm just like I just
Hey,
hate
you better
planes so
you
much.
better get me a keychain.
Okay.
You can
What?
chip it.
Yeah. Okay. Fine, dude. This
You
is
better
a
get me a
year.
keychain.
This is next year.
I don't care. I want a keychain. You know, dude, I don't give a fuck. If I know somebody's going somewhere, get me a keychain.
Fine. Get me a
That
keychain when you go to Fiji.
okay?
Okay.
I'll get you one.
All right.
I have one. I have one from Guadalajara.
Hey, did you guys know Abe almost came to New York and hung out with me, but then he did it?
You want to know something? Let's
What?
finish the stream and I'll give you an update from that.
Ooh, fun. Hey guys, we're gonna finish the stream now. No,
Yeah.
this is a lot of fun. I think it was a good episode. I look forward to Brian questioning our tier rankings because he's the only one that interacts with stuff. So thank you, Brian. We love you.
We'll invite
right.
Ryan to the next episode of the show.
No, we're not. My brother wants to come on the show though, because I played me and him. We had a fire pit last Saturday, because we like smoked cigars together, and I played through our speakers. I played our pitch for the Crimes Against Humanity trilogy, and he was losing it, particularly the moment to where I was like, "Can Woody Harrelson have a chihuahua?" You're like, "Yes, for racist reasons." He was dying, and he was like, "Can I come on this?" I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
So,
Well,
that's the
Matt,
only
brother.
thing is the only thing is we'll have to do that on a Friday or Saturday night because he has to get up so early for work. He goes to bed early, so he won't be able to come on. So yeah, but
we can do it at what's
7?
no, what's the time that midday? No, it's not midnight. 12 p.m.
He
What time
works, you idiot.
is it?
He works from 7 to 3.
Okay. Thank you very much, and I'll give you an update because I need to leave because I need to go pick up my friend.
Bye, people.
Bye.